What's up, guys? Sean here from Srkcycles.com, and I'm about to get really real with you, with y'all. Where do I want to go? I'm gonna go this way. I'm about to get really real with y'all, and we're gonna talk about a subject about stolen motorcycles. This could hit home to a lot of people. I've bought a lot of motorcycles. I've probably bought over 250 motorcycles off of Craigslist in like a 2.5 year span. Bought a lot of bikes off of Craigslist, and on 2 occasions I bought stolen motorcycles. Well, the one occasion I actually bought a stolen motorcycle. The other occasion I was caught in possession of a stolen motorcycle. Let me go with that story first. So I'm buying a bike from a guy. This is down south, so this is actually near Atlanta. I'm buying a bike from a guy, and he told me, he's like, it doesn't have a title. I'm like, all right. I've bought bikes without titles before. It's actually a pretty simple process. What you do is, at least down south, you would do this. In Georgia and North Carolina, you'd look at the bike, and then once you saw the bike, you would call the police, and you'd say, hey, I'm looking at a bike. It has no title. Can I get a police officer to run a VIN verification form on this vehicle? And then they'd send the closest officer down. He'd come down. He had a special form. It's got some like MD, some numbers and stuff like that. And he would run a VIN verification form on that vehicle. So what he would do is he would verify that it's been stolen, that it's not been stolen, and he would check all that stuff. And if everything looked good, then you were clear to buy the vehicle, and you would have that piece of paper checked out by the police officer, and you could go then and try to get a title for the vehicle. So I was meeting this guy in Atlanta. I was right outside of Atlanta, and we met at like a mini mart, like a Turkey Hill or a QT or a Sheetz or something like that. We met at one of those places, and this was strategic. We met very close to a police station, and I was looking at the bike. It looked good. It was a good price with no title. And I told the guys, I'm like, listen, I'm gonna test drive this bike. I'm gonna test drive it to the police station, where I'm gonna check to make sure it's not stolen. And they were like, yeah, that's fine. We got no problem with that. And so that's what I did. Upon arriving at the police station, I walked in there, and I'm like, hey, listen, I got a bike. I want to, I'm looking at buying this bike. I want to make sure it's not stolen. Can you come out and do a VIN verification on it? They come out, they do a VIN verification form, they find out the bike is stolen. And guess what? They're like, you're in possession of a stolen vehicle. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm trying to explain to them what's going on. They brought me in for questioning. I sat in a room for a couple hours. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I'm calling my friends, calling my wife, couldn't get a hold of anybody, couldn't get a hold of my dad. So the best thing I knew to do was I posted a post on Facebook that said, in jail in Atlanta, I've got a bunch of money I've got a bunch of cash in my van, can anyone help? And then I got a call back from my dad pretty quick, because someone saw it, contacted my dad. He called me back, and he's like, I told him what was going on. He's like, you need to take that post off, because that makes you look kind of bad. Eventually, after I gave my story to like 20 people, I was like, listen, the guys you want are down the street, parked next to my van, waiting for me to come back. They're sitting right there. I didn't steal the bike. Why would I steal the bike and then come to you and find out whether the bike was stolen or not? And so They went and grabbed those guys. They let me go. I was never officially arrested. I mean, I don't know what the word is, detained. They held me there. It's not on my record or anything like that. They were nice guys. The police officers were nice guys. They were nice to me, you know what I mean? It was just a weird situation for me. That's the first time. The second time, like most bike transactions that happen in North or Middle Georgia, I met a guy in a dark parking lot. I met a guy in a parking lot at night.